On Earth, Battle Beast had been summoned by Machine Head as a hired enforcer. He effortlessly overpowered the Guardians and left Mark, Invincible, battered and bloodied. However, instead of finishing off his foes, Battle Beast declared his disappointment with the lack of challenge, stating that none were worthy of his strength. With that, he stepped through a portal and vanished, leaving Earth's heroes in ruins. The story resumes with Battle Beast returning to his spaceship, which orbits a distant planet. The interior is a grim sight. Bodies of the ship's previous crew are strewn about, victims of Battle Beast's wrath. He sits alone, brooding, haunted by the emptiness of his victories. The thrill of combat has once again eluded him, and his curse, a relentless drive to seek worthy opponents, remains unbroken. Suddenly, the ship's AI, which had been silent until now, addresses Battle Beast. The computer reveals it hid from him, hoping to survive the slaughter. Now, with the crew dead, it has nothing left to lose. The computer is curious about Battle Beast's motivations and asks why he is so obsessed with fighting. Battle Beast explains his curse. He is compelled to seek out the strongest warriors in the universe, hoping one day to find someone who can finally kill him and end his suffering. The computer, realizing that Battle Beast's goal aligns with its own, to see him destroyed in vengeance for the crew, offers to help. It proposes to use its vast database to search for the most powerful beings in the galaxy. Battle Beast, intrigued, agrees to this alliance, and the two begin their search. The computer identifies a promising target. Battle Beast sets course for the planet. Upon arrival, he is greeted by a desolate, wind-swept landscape and a massive, ancient prison. He strides inside, undaunted by the ominous warnings etched into the walls. Deep within, he finds the Colossus of Mu, chained and weakened, but still exuding an aura of menace. The Colossus, sensing Battle Beast's intent, recounts his tragic history. Once a prince, he was betrayed by his own sister and locked away for eternity. He has spent centuries dreaming of freedom and vengeance. Battle Beast, unmoved by the tale, smashes the Colossus's bonds, demanding a fight to the death. The battle erupts with explosive violence. The Colossus, despite his long imprisonment, proves to be a formidable opponent. The two titans trade devastating blows, shattering stone and sending shockwaves through the prison. Battle Beast is injured but exhilarated. This is the kind of fight he lives for. He urges the Colossus to unleash his full power, even pausing the fight to let his opponent recover from grievous wounds. As the duel rages on, Battle Beast's ferocity and cunning give him the edge. He loses his weapon but improvises by ripping off the Colossus's own arm and wielding it as a club. The Colossus, despite his strength, begins to falter. In a final desperate move, Battle Beast delivers a killing blow, bisecting the Colossus and ending his long imprisonment and death. Standing over the corpse, Battle Beast is once again disappointed. The Colossus, for all his legend, was not the worthy foe he had hoped for. As he turns to leave, he hears a weak voice calling for help. From within the Colossus's body, a small, frightened alien emerges. Prince Salaka, heir to the Fantanian Empire. Salaka begs Battle Beast to return him to his home, promising riches and power as a reward. Battle Beast is unmoved by Salaka's pleas. He lifts the prince effortlessly and carries him back to his ship, treating him as little more than cargo. When the ship's computer inquires about the alien, Battle Beast dismissively refers to Salaka as food for the journey, showing no interest in his fate or his promises. Battle Beast's curse remains unbroken, his quest unfulfilled. He is a tragic figure, a warrior, doomed to wander the universe, forever seeking meaning through combat, unable to find peace or satisfaction. Battle Beast's one-shot story is a cosmic odyssey of violence, honor, and existential longing. It begins immediately after his battle with Invincible, follows his search for a worthy adversary, and ends with the realization that his curse will not be easily broken.